It was information stored right up here in your brain. But what if that entire definition is, well, changing right before our very eyes? Today, we're going to dive into how technology is fundamentally rewriting the meaning of knowledge itself. And that brings us to this huge question for our time. I mean, think about it. When pretty much all of human knowledge is just a click away, is the most important skill really memorization anymore? Or is it being able to find what you need, figure out if it's any good, and then actually use it? It's a question that honestly gets to the very core of how we learn, how we work, and even how we think. So, the key idea we're digging into here has a name: the externalization of knowledge. It sounds kind of academic, but it's simple. It's this massive shift of information, all the facts, figures, and data, from inside our individual brains to this external, shared brain we all use, the internet. Now that frees up a ton of mental space for us, for sure, but it also means we have to completely rethink everything we thought we knew about something really fundamental: education. Okay, so here's the game plan for this explainer. First up, we'll look at where knowledge even lives now. Then we'll zoom in on Japan's education system, which is really struggling to keep up. After that, we'll see how AI is throwing fuel on the fire and what a new blueprint for learning could look like. And we'll finish up by figuring out what makes us humans irreplaceable and what our future looks like working with this tech. All right, let's jump right into our first section: knowledge's new home. Seriously, we're living through this monumental change. We're going from knowledge being this private thing you had to store in your head to it being more like a public utility, like electricity or water, accessible to basically everyone. Just think about it for a second. Our ancestors, they had to pass down knowledge through stories, through texts they painstakingly memorized. For us, knowledge isn't just transmitted anymore, it's accessed. This move from what you could call the age of memorization to the age of access is, well, it's huge. It's one of the biggest shifts in human history. And you can bet its shockwaves are hitting our most fundamental institutions, especially our schools. So, to really see this clash in action, let's look at a perfect case study: Japan's education system. Man, it's a crystal clear example of this collision between old school methods built for memorization and our new on-demand world. I mean, look at this comparison. It's a really stark contrast, isn't it? On one side, you've got the traditional cramming style of education, which was designed for a world where information was scarce. And on the other side, the world our students actually live in today, one where information is everywhere and AI can generate it instantly. These two things aren't just a little different, they're basically opposites. It creates a system that is totally, completely out of sync with real life. So why the lag? Why is the system so stuck? Well, it's not just one thing. It's a whole bunch of stuff. You've got teachers who are totally overworked and have no time for new training. There's a big generational gap when it comes to digital skills. And maybe the biggest one? The tests are still super rigid and reward pure memorization. So there's this huge incentive to just not change. And, just as education systems were finally starting to grapple with the internet, this new player just bursts onto the scene and changes the game completely. It's accelerating this whole shift and basically forcing everyone's hand. I'm talking, of course, about generative AI. This is the point of no return. Seriously. If the internet gave us the world's library at our fingertips, generative AI gives us a tireless, instant research assistant right there with it. It doesn't just find information, it synthesizes it, it summarizes it, it creates it. So in a world like this, an education based on memorizing stuff that an AI can spit out in 2 seconds, it's obsolete. It's over. Reform isn't just a good idea anymore, it is an absolute necessity. Okay, so if the old system is broken, what do we build to replace it? What's the plan? Well, this next section lays out a really interesting blueprint for a system that's actually designed for this new reality. The path forward that's proposed here is a really powerful 3-step approach. Okay, first up, and this is so important, retrain teachers. They need to develop AI literacy, sure, but more than that, they need to become facilitators, guides. Second, reform the curriculum itself. We've got to shift the focus away from just memorizing facts to learning how to think critically and creatively. And finally, number 3, diversify how we evaluate students. We need to move beyond just right or wrong answers and use things like portfolios and rubrics that actually assess the quality of their thinking, not just the final answer. And this really gets to the most fundamental change of all. It's a complete evolution of what a teacher even is. They're no longer the sage on the stage, the person at the front of the room who has all the knowledge. Instead, they become the guide on the side. Their new job is to be an expert facilitator, someone who helps students ask the right questions, navigate this ocean of information, and build their own understanding.
Okay, so this next part, this really gets to the heart of everything. If AI can know almost any fact, then what's left for us? What is our unique, our irreplaceable human skill? What's left for us to master?
This quote just nails it. Sensory/tacit knowledge via the body and deep understanding based on emotional empathy and relationships are domains that are difficult for AI to replace. So what does that mean? It means AI is great with data and logic, but it's not so great with the kind of knowledge you get from physical, hands-on experience, or the kind of deep understanding you only get from empathy and real human connection. That is our territory. All right, let's break that down a bit. First, you've got embodiment. This is the kind of knowledge you can't just write down in a book. It's a master chef knowing exactly how dough should feel in their hands. It's a doctor noticing a tiny, subtle sign of discomfort in a patient. It's knowledge you learn through your body. And then there's emotional intelligence. This is that deep ability to understand other people through empathy, through relationships. It's knowing how to inspire your team, or calm down an argument, or just connect with someone. This is the stuff of being human. And all this points to a new goal for education, what you could call a dual curriculum. On one hand, yes, we absolutely have to teach students how to use these incredible AI tools effectively and ethically. But at the exact same time, we need to double down on teaching the skills that are uniquely human, that embodiment, that emotional intelligence. It's not a choice between the two. It has to be both. So let's pull all these threads together. What does the future look like if we actually get this right? Well, it's not some scary story of humans versus machines. It's a future where humanity and technology are working together in harmony. And this right here, this is maybe the single most powerful idea we've talked about. This externalization of knowledge, we shouldn't see it as a loss. We should see it for what it really is, a liberation. By offloading all that boring rote memorization to our technology, we are finally freed up to focus our energy on mastering what is essentially and beautifully human: our creativity, our empathy, our wisdom, our connection with each other. Now, to build this kind of co-creative society, we need the right foundation. That means we need things like lifelong, personalized ways to learn. It means we need strong, human-centered ethics and guidelines for AI. And it definitely means we need real collaboration between education, industry, and government. It's a huge project, and it's on all of us to build it. And that leaves us with one last question, and this one's for you. When you can entrust so much of what we used to call knowledge to AI, what will you choose to learn? What will you choose to fill your mind with? What skills, what passions, what human connections will you decide are truly worth mastering? Because that choice is now more ours than it has ever been before.